Welcome everyone to my video again, to watch my video again. My name is Zahid Islam. I am a professor of computer science at an Australian university, and I also serve as an associate dean research for a faculty in that university. I'm a citizen of Australia. I live in Australia for last 25 years, and I'm also a citizen of Bangladesh. I was born and brought up there. So today my topic of the video is the current political tense situation in Bangladesh, and to address the people of Bangladesh and India in that connection. I will share my views, and I will then also request the people, good people on both sides, to act rationally and sensibly to minimize the tension between the two countries. Now, little bit of background information. You know that on August 5, a fascist, dictatorial, authoritarian government was ousted by the people of Bangladesh through a mass uprising and revolution in Bangladesh, for which within 15 days about 1,500 plus protesters, students were brutally killed by the armed forces, police of that illegal government. So, as you know, that the government ruled, that illegal government ruled Bangladesh for more than 16 years. And starting from the election in 2014, the elections in 2018 and 2024 were unacceptable, seriously rigged. In 2014, the main opposition party and other parties decided not to participate in the election in fear of the election rigging due to the constitutional change requiring the country to organize elections under a caretaker government. The ruling party at that time changed the constitution to remove the necessity of a caretaker government for organizing the elections for various reasons. And that actually made the main opposition party and other parties very concerned. There were protests all over the country, but the government did not listen to. And as a result of that, they were elected more than 50% of the electorals uncontested. There was no election at all. And for the other electoral seats as well, the election was seriously rigged. People were not interested in voting as well, and the election rigging was so widespread. Then in 2018, the main opposition party and some other parties decided to participate in the election to test whether a free and fair election can be organized by a party under a political government. And they participated in the election, but the election is well known as the night election in Bangladesh, which is because the votes were casted the night before the election, believe it or not. Votes were casted by the armed forces, police, party workers, and some government officials. And when people went to cast their vote in the morning, they were told that somebody else has already casted their vote on behalf of them. And this was seriously rigged election. This was a seriously rigged election in 2018. And then in 2024, the same thing happened again. The main opposition party again were demanding for a caretaker government, an election to be held under a caretaker government, which was ignored. And there was international pressure as well from the United States, particularly, to organize a free and fair, participating, acceptable election, but that was not listened to. As a result of this government that was ousted on August 5 was ruling Bangladesh for long 16 plus years, illegally, unlawfully, without being elected. So there was big dissatisfaction, huge dissatisfaction among the people of Bangladesh in this regard. Moreover, the corruption was very widespread in Bangladesh, and that is understandable when a government will use the state machinery like the police, bureaucrats, judicial system in favor of their unlawful desire to rule a country legally. Then those agencies will also take advantage of that by satisfying their interests, illegal interests, and corruption will spread out. It's very understandable. Though it was a very corrupt government, all layers of the government machinery were completely corrupt, and people were very unhappy about that as well. On top of that, there were huge extrajudicial killing and enforced disappearance. People just disappeared. People who protested against this government, who spoke about the illegal activities of the government, against the government, they simply just disappeared, and many of them never returned back. So it went to such an extent that United States recently also sanctioned an elite force in Bangladesh called RAB, Rapid Action Battalion. So this is the background information, how this government ruled Bangladesh, how unpopular they were, and what were the reasons. Now, since they have fallen, the government has fallen, and the leader of the government, the ex-prime minister, fled away to India. She is living in India, and she is also participating in political activities like addressing her party gatherings, etc., while she is staying there in India. The Bangladesh government has recently requested India to extradite her, to bring her to justice. Now, since this government fell and the government was ousted, a section of the Indian media are becoming very vocal against Bangladesh in many different ways, and they are spreading disinformation about the anarchy, communal harmony, minority issues in Bangladesh. The reason I'm calling them disinformation because they were fact-checked by some, fake news detection agencies and all these things. And we know, we can see these things, we can hear, we know what's happening in Bangladesh, and we can also see what they are reporting about Bangladesh are seriously mismatching. So these disinformation and also the tone of their and the aggression in their presentation of the news, interviewing their political leaders, and aggression and the tone of the politicians and some TV anchors are also very disrespectful and, to be honest with you, unacceptable to the people of Bangladesh. People will not like it. People did not like the previous regime as well, because they did not protect the interest of Bangladesh. There were allegations against them that they could not stop, or they could not protest the border killings by Indian border guards in Bangladesh border. Um, the people of Bangladesh argued that even if somebody, for the sake of argument, crossed the border line, the village people there, were they armed? They were unarmed people, civilians. You know, you know those borders, um, how fragile those borders are, in the sense that relatives live on both sides of the border. Sometimes they have their cattle, maybe crossing the border, they go to fetch the cattle back. Those kind of things happen. They were unarmed people. Did they really need to be killed? There were videos that were disturbing, and people were concerned about this, and the government did not protest, or did not engage in negotiations with Indian government to discuss these issues. They also failed to negotiate water sharing, etc. So there was an understanding, there was a sense among the people that that government, this unlawful illegal government, was not actually keen in protecting the interests of Bangladesh, while they were engaging in some treaties or arrangements that were heavily beneficial to India. For example, giving transit over Bangladesh to connect western side of India to the eastern side, to allow India to use Bangladesh ports, etc. So these things are good. Collaboration among the neighbors are good when they are mutually beneficial. So that was another perspective, another concern, for very widespread concern among the people of Bangladesh. So this government was very unpopular. Now, when the Indian media, politicians, TV anchors are so loud and vocal in support of that government, then naturally people of Bangladesh will not welcome that sort of presentation style and approach. So the disinformation was also not helping, because they were considered as foreign interference into internal matters through minority cards, etc. So communal harmony in Bangladesh is very well known. The people of Bangladesh are very friendly, and there are lots of interviews and statements from the minority people, like Hindu community in Bangladesh as well, emphasizing this fact. But they were not so much covered by those sections of Indian media. That was also not very well received among the people of Bangladesh. I'm not saying that there was no incidents of any sort of anarchy in Bangladesh after the fall of this authoritarian government. There were no government from August 5 to August 8. The entire police force completely collapsed because the previous police force were seriously misused in killing people. They killed 1,500 people during the protest and were very corrupt. So they had no moral kind of standing to continue on, and they simply disappeared. So there was no government, no police. So things might have happened, or things have actually happened, and most of them were because of political reasons. Because if somebody was supporting the previous regime and torturing people surrounding them, then obviously after this change there will be some revenge, which is not supportable. But the reality is things like that can happen, and have happened. So but they were portrayed as communal attacks, etc., and that is possibly not entirely true. Now, also, everybody has right to speak about the human rights and etc., even if those human right violations happening elsewhere outside one's country, because we are global citizens today. But there are some protocols, there are some uh, acceptable kind of process and tone for doing that, and they need to be measured actions. Um, so people will not like it if it sounds like an interference, particularly if minority issues are also very disturbing in their country as well. While they do not talk about their issues, but they are spending huge attention on the issues of another country, then that will be questionable. So I think like the good people of both sides, if they speak up and they behave rationally, sensibly, then we possibly may be able to keep these elements in the societies under control, and they will not be able to, you know, spread disinformation, hatred, and misunderstandings widely. So I think like this is the time for us to work together. This region, India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, and the whole Southeast Asia, is suffering from poverty, lack of human rights, lack of education, low life quality, and I think we should work unitedly to overcome these issues. I think from the perspective of the people of Bangladesh, they understand that India is a very powerful country, is a big military power. They understand that India is a big economy, is a big country. There is no confusion about that. And they respect India. But at the same time, they also respect themselves. So it will be very difficult for any country, any nation to surrender and to bow down in front of another country under pressure. The relationship should be mutually beneficial, mutually respectful, and friendly. And that way, possibly, we can build a win-win partnership. So I think that needs to be understood from both sides, and we should protect interests of both sides and help each other. So how we can protest and how we can contribute in resolving this, I'm talking to the good people of both sides, that possibly this is one reason I'm making this video today, to raise my voice, to reach out and to share my views so we understand each other. More people to people communication and contacts can be helpful. We will understand each other better. I know both people because I have mingled with many people from both sides. I am originally from Bangladesh, and I have visited India. I have friends from India, so I know both sides. And I think many people on both sides are very good people. They want peace, they want prosperity, they want harmony. And these people need to speak up. These people need to talk. Now, another way we can also protest or raise our voice is by commenting on the videos of these weird, funny videos, news, etc. And if we comment there, then our views will be reflected upon there, and people will see that there are good people on both sides as well. So thank you for watching my video. I just wanted to share my views, and I really want both countries to have friendly relationships, but that will have to be mutually respectful and a really long lasting win-win partnership. God bless us. Thank you.